they kind of jumped out on you. Any reason for the slow start? Or do you...
I don't think we had them ready to play. You know, their pressure and their length, you know, obviously was the key element in the game the first 25 minutes, and we didn't do a good job of understanding that or playing to that. You know, we had one good possession the first half, and it happened in the first 10 seconds of the game. So there wasn't too many positives to take from it. It's amazing that we were still in the game as poorly as we played. But you know, we did hang in there second half, cut it to 2, and then of course Mark and Gray made 2 big shots that kind of sustained that tide. But yeah, they were much better than us and much more athletic and certainly played with a purpose. I thought they were really good today.
Is that length primarily responsible for the turnovers, or was that you guys?
I think it was probably a combination of them being good and us not being good. I don't know that I could give them 100% credit,
Sure.
but that's what happens in sports when the other team is doing things to hurt you, and then you don't attack it well, then they guard you the same way, and a lot of times you just throw it to them because of just not being as prepared or as ready. So I think it was a combination of both. I would err on the side of giving them more credit, because if I say we just sucked, that would take credit from them, but we did suck. But it was a large part due to them.
Bill, from an offensive standpoint, from Mizzou in the first half, what did you see out of Tamar Bates?
Well, he's great. Tamar's the best player in the game, hands down. So we couldn't guard him. You know, he went around us and he played to his size, and we started small, and they made us look slow that first half for sure. And I thought that he was the best player in the game. You know, he scores at all 3 levels, and he did a really nice job.
Bill, I think they took a timeout late in the game to let you guys get safely off the court, if I'm correct. Has that ever happened to you before, and is that something new?
You know, we've been court stormed on a lot.
For the timeout?
Usually I'm the one that calls the timeout and just tells the guy to stay on the sidelines, but that was a classy move by Dennis. I mean, let's just call it like it is. That was a class move, and because somebody could have got hurt, because that was a real court storming. I mean, Mizzou played great today, but that court storming may have been even better than Mizzou played. That was a big time court storm, and I was glad he did that, because that gave us a chance to get to the side. That was a class move.
Diggy and KJ were talking about the process of finding an identity for this team. Where do you feel like you guys are at and trying to establish what that is?
Well, I thought, you know, after the Duke game, I thought we were closer to establishing an identity. Then, you know, we played really well the next game against Furman, who's got a good team, and really looked good. But this last week we haven't been any good at all the last 5 days. So I don't know. I don't know that we're close to finding identity yet. Because who are we? Are we a skilled team? Are we an athletic team? Are we an execution team? What do we really hang our hat on? Are we a toughness team, or do we make people play bad? I'll be honest with you. I think right now we're kind of in a situation that it'd be hard for me to say from game to game what we are. Now that doesn't mean we can't do any of those things in any particular game, but you know, you would think a college football team that allows, you know, 10 first downs a game, or doesn't allow a 100-yard rusher all season long, you would think going into the next game they could bank on that still being the case. And I don't know that we can do that right now.
When you do find a single unifying concept like that, I mean, how much can that help you guys, and what can that give you when you have like one thing you can, as you said, hang your hat on like that?
Well, if we don't find it, then it won't be a fun year. We'll find it, but you know, teams become teams at certain times throughout the year. Like this may have been a big step for Mizzou in becoming a team. I don't know that for a fact because I'm not in their practices, but I know with us, we're going to go through ebbs and flows the whole time until we actually become a team. And at this point in time, we have not yet, because in order to be a team, you have to have an identity.
Along those same lines, where are you at with your fifth starter? Is that still in flux?
Oh God, yeah. You know, AJ has had some really poor days since Creighton. This early in the season, guys, you want to win the battle, but not at the expense of losing the war. And I still think there's certain things that need to be that need to be done in order to have a chance to win big in the end. But the bottom line is, you know, I know who should be our starters in theory, but it hasn't translated to from practice to games or anything else like that yet. So we'll just have to hang in there and see if we can develop that, because at this time I don't feel great about that. The thing about it is, and we could talk all night if you want me to, but the thing about it is, Juan and KJ are not explosive offensive players. They're great players that win with intangibles. We all know that that's followed us. So when they're really good, woo, we're pretty good. Duke, we're pretty good. But when they're not playing at that level, somebody else has to be able to pick up the slack, and we just haven't figured that out yet. So hopefully we can get there.
Where do you need AJ Store to be for this to be a successful season? How close do you think he is to getting there?
Well, I don't want to pick on one person, but I don't think there's anybody that's close to getting to where, you know, what I would envision as being a team. You know, with KJ, you look at it differently. KJ's going to play. Well, if he plays with Hunt, how's KJ's man going to guard Hunt? And how are we going to stretch the defense? And how are we going to do this and that? Well, there's certain things that have to work out and fit in order to allow KJ to still be effective with Hunter and him both in the game at the same time. So you know, those are some things we're still trying to work through and figure out, but I don't think we're really that close right now.
Coach, you're 3-10 on the road the past 2 years combined. What do you attribute to that?
Well, I think that last year, I'm not sure we were better than the people we played on the road. This year, I don't think we were better than the two teams we just played on the road. I think on those particular days, those two teams were better than us. I'd say that our margin for error is not near as much as what it has been with some other teams, without question. I mean, you guys can think about it. People that cover their respective teams, Missouri football just had the greatest recruiting class in the world. Kansas football just had the greatest recruiting class in the world. I mean, that's how the coverage is for your respective teams. Same with basketball, same with Mizzou basketball. Bottom line is, guys we get, other guys are getting those same guys. You know, everybody's getting guys, you know, with the portal. So I don't think that we've separated ourselves from a talent standpoint at all. I think we got good enough players to win at a high level, but we have to be a unit. And why we haven't won as much the last 2 years, maybe it's maybe because we don't have the margin for error that maybe we've had in some of the other years.
When you had that stretch in the second half where it looked like you guys were getting back into the game, do you think there's a way you can bottle that up and use that in future games? Is that something you think you can repeat?
Sure. Yeah, but I don't know that we're going to draw from this game tape and say this is how we want to play. I don't. That's not what we're going to do. But did we quit? No. Did we keep fighting? Yeah. Were we prideful? Absolutely. Did a couple of shots finally go down? Absolutely. But it wasn't. It just goes to show you, when you play away from home, you can't afford to dig yourself into a hole like that, because the comeback almost has to be flawless. And then if it's not flawless, 2 possessions, you go from getting it back to 2, and now it's 7. It's like, damn. So that's why we got to be so much better earlier.
All right, Coach. Thank you.